All right, so I thought of a couple of examples I had with different clients that I'll share with you guys that might help you understand something I was trying to explain before. I say over and over that it's not what you eat, it's how much you eat. Because, like I said, so many people get caught up in healthy food versus unhealthy food. They're like I said, I had a buddy before who was like, oh, healthy food is salmon and avocados. And I'm like trying to explain to him, all right, buddy, those are healthy foods. But if you eat too much of those foods, you'll get fat. And he just couldn't understand that. People think it's what you eat and not how much you eat. So here's a couple of examples of that I want to share with you guys. I had a client before where I was telling them, you should start eating fruit. Fruit will help you lose weight. Now, at this time, I thought it went without saying that I was meaning to replace some of the things you were eating with fruit. He didn't understand that. I should have been more clear. So what he did is he just started adding fruit on top of everything else he was eating. If he was eating 3,000 calories a day, now he's eating 3,500 calories a day because he's eating 500 calories in fruit on top of what he already was having. And he can't understand why he's not losing weight. This magical fat loss food of fruit isn't helping. So I had to explain to him, I'm sorry for not being more clear, but what I meant was eat fruit instead of some of the other things you're eating. Here's another example. I had a client and I'm telling him, why don't you try intermittent fasting? Like I said before, that works well for me. I love intermittent fasting because the way it works with me is I'm not hungry in the morning and I'm not even hungry in the afternoon usually. So it's easy for me just to skip those meals. Now, what happens with me, if I do eat in the morning, it actually makes me more hungry. Like I can't eat a small amount of food. I could be not hungry, no appetite, but if I start eating, say I'm like, you know what, it's breakfast time, I should eat something. So I eat 2 eggs. It's just not going to be enough. I'm going to want more. Whereas if I didn't eat anything at all, I'm not even going to think about it. It doesn't bother me. So a lot of times I'll suggest to people to try intermittent fasting. So I told this one client I had, just try skipping breakfast because you're probably eating around 700 to 1,000 calories for breakfast. You take that out, that's 2 pounds a week right there. So he's like, all right, cool, I'll try it. A couple of weeks go by and he's like, I'm like, how much weight have you been losing? He said, nothing. I haven't lost anything. I'm like, well, explain to me what you're doing throughout the day. So he's like, so I don't eat breakfast. And then here, we run into the problem right at lunch. He's doubling up on his lunch from what he used to eat. So he used to eat about 1,000 calories at lunch. Now he's eating about 2,000 calories because like, yeah, I'm really hungry at lunch. So I'm having a way bigger lunch. So what he's doing is if he was eating 3,000 calories a day before and he takes 1,000 calories out at breakfast time, he's just adding that in at lunchtime. So he's thinking that there is something magic about what time of day he's eating the food. He's thinking like, oh, as long as I'm not eating it for breakfast, I'm going to lose weight. No, it's not about what you eat or when you eat. It's about how much you eat. And here's another example that I want to talk about. Excuse me. Here's another thing too. If you guys are wondering why I'm always wearing the same outfits and I'm still sick after all this time, I make a lot of these videos on the same day. I just try to knock them out while I got the energy. All right, so here's the thing. Excuse me. There used to be this thing that people talked about where they're like, no food after 8. You don't want to have food in your system while you're sleeping because you're not going to burn it and you're going to store it as fat. Okay, that's a half truth because what they're saying is true, but it just doesn't matter because it's not about what happens for the 8 hours while you're sleeping. It matters what happens for the entire 24 hours of the day. So let's give an example of 2 different scenarios. Let's say you're going to eat 1,500 calories a day. And you have 500 calories at 6 in the morning for breakfast, you have 500 calories at 12 noon, and you have 500 calories at 7 o'clock at night. Okay, yeah. If you go to bed at 10:30 at night, you'll have no calories in your system while you're sleeping. And yes, you're going to burn fat all night long while you're sleeping. Amazing, right? Why not do that? All right, well, let's just look at another scenario. You're still eating 1,500 calories a day. The only difference is you don't eat anything all day long. You save those calories for dinner because you're like, you know what? 500 calories for breakfast just leaves me hungry. It's nothing. I'd rather just skip it. And you're like, 500 calories for lunch? That's nothing. That's hardly any food. I don't even want it. I'll save it for tonight. And then you have 1,500 calories for dinner. And I'm not saying to do this. I'm just giving you examples of how things work. So you have 1,500 calories for dinner. Then you go to sleep. It's true. You're not going to burn any fat while you're sleeping. Well, that sucks. Why not do it the other way, right? If you're not burning fat while you're sleeping, this doesn't work. No, because what are you doing all day long? While the other guy or woman is eating her calories, you're going to be burning calories because you have no food in your system during the day. So one person has no food in their system during the night. The other person has no food in their system during the day. So I hope you see what I'm trying to get at here. It's not about what you eat. It's not about when you eat. It's about how much you eat. All right. I hope this helped to bust some more myths that people have been spreading throughout the years. Like I said, it's a common theme. People get a lot of stuff wrong when it comes to fat loss, fitness. Either they just don't know any better, or they're just selling you lies because they want to have something trendy that they can sell to you. All right, more videos coming.